And for me as a mom, I really liked some of the links more than others because they could learn how to write the letter. It had different ways, different links. This all the way down. Yay! You did it! Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to review the Easy Peasy curriculum. That's the preschool one that is online, free. It has, I'll link it below, but so you can see it. It is 170 or 171 days of preschool for your toddler. I have done it with my 2-year-old, and well, we did to like at one time my 2-year-old and my soon-to-be 4-year-old. I started in the fall and I had a little break during quarantine, but then we picked it up back up in May and kind of rushed through the remaining days that we had left. So it's going to look a little different as I talk from how we started to how we finished. So we started in fall of 2019. I started with a notebook. My plan was to do the worksheets with him, and as we did them, I did different things on the page. I started off not with Easy Peasy. I started off with ABC Jesus Loves Me, and I just found it lacking in the letter department, and my goal was really to start with the letters, and that be my focus for teaching them letters, the letter sounds, because I really wanted to do reading prep with him. So ABC Jesus Loves Me is great because there's crafts in there and Bible lessons and stories and stuff, and it's a free curriculum. You can go week by week with it. It was very simple, easy stuff that he enjoyed doing, but it didn't have, like I said, the letters that I really wanted to focus on. And I don't know if I just hadn't got to those letters yet or what, but that is what we started off doing. It was a lot of crafts, learning the Bible, which again I am all for, but which is why I'm excited about this year. This year I'm actually doing a curriculum with him. I originally got the Good and the Beautiful. I'm still debating. I haven't got either of these in yet, but I've ordered them. I got the Good and the Beautiful because I've been wanting to do that with him, and I've heard so many good things about it. But then I heard about masterbooks, watching a Good and Beautiful review, and I was like, this sounds great, and it incorporates the Bible into it with letters. So I'm very excited about masterbooks and the Good and the Beautiful. We'll see how it goes when I get them in. So as I go through this notebook, it's just different things that I was going over with him. And so it did have like number 0, and this is where you draw the number and he puts the stickers on the lines and stuff. And I think having it in this sheet was a little confusing because he did put them on the line, but which is great for hand-eye coordination and gross motor skills. But we were focusing on 0 here, so that kind of. And then we had some of the worksheets I just found on Pinterest. We colored and we went over the letters, and I would cut them out and put them in here. This notebook became very time intensive, and I decided that as we went through it, it just became too much to keep up with. So, that's originally how I started, was just going through doing worksheets, adding to the ABC Jesus Loves Me, and cutting them out, going through the different Bible stories with him, and we learned shapes, and he was doing pretty good on shapes. I saw that here he was able to match all of these with very little help. And then I drew some of the worksheets into here, like elephant, E is for elephant. So just as we went on, I kind of was over it after a certain point of trying to put it into the notebook, even though this is almost filled. So then what slowly happened as we went along, he drew the shapes, and then our time that I was doing school shifted. It went from, I would put my second son down for his nap, and me and Gabriel would sit down to lunch and do school while we were having lunch. So it was the perfect time to do the worksheets and craft time. It was great. And then I realized, being pregnant at the time, that I really needed a mental break in my day, because I just was getting to the end of my day being so strung out and overly extended, because I'm an introvert, and to have to constantly be on with the kids all day long, it just wasn't giving me the rest that I needed during the day. So I started implementing a quiet time for Gabriel, and then I didn't really figure out a great time to do school time with him after that. So that's why the worksheets and stuff slowly went to the wayside. But somewhere along the way, we shifted from doing ABC Jesus Loves Me to Easy Peasy. And for me as a mom, I really liked some of the links more than others, because they could learn how to write the letter. It had different ways, different link. This one, it linked to 1 + 1 + 1 = 1, which is biblical verses to go along with the letter that they're learning. So do all things without complaining or disputing. So then they would learn the letter D for do. So, and then every child is known by his deeds. And you got this is the part of the worksheet. So I went through here for a lot of the beginning where he was practicing tracing these. And then after I transitioned him to a quiet time, instead of, I would also supplement with different things for him to practice what he was learning with worksheets that I found off Pinterest. There is a ton of resources on Pinterest. Part of the problem in the fall is that Gabe just wasn't engaging with some of the work, like find and circle the letter, and he just, for whatever reason, if it was my fault as the teacher or he was just too young for it, he would be like, I can't see it, I don't know. So, but then he would know what it was. It just might have been mentally too hard for him to get there. So I did this with him when he was 3, starting out, and then we stopped for a while because quiet times came up and I didn't find another time to do this school, or I didn't make time to do the school. And then also I had a baby in March. So in April I was like, I need to get through the school with him, because I'd really like to see how it progresses and see how he does with the letters at the end of the 170 things. So when quarantine started, I made time for him and Kai to do it at the same time. So they would go down for their nap quiet time after lunch, and then when they woke up, I would give them their fruit snacks for the day, and we would sit down and do school together. So when that happened, I put it up on, we have our Xbox hooked up to our TV, so we pulled it up on the Xbox via the internet browser there. And we just started going through all the videos, and I wasn't, for the workbook, I pulled it up on the screen, and they would use their finger to do it on the screen, to trace the lines and look at the letters and tell me where different letters were. So I wasn't printing. There was no paperwork, no prep time. I stopped doing the crafts with them, just because with the extra baby and not prepping the crafts beforehand. I think if I had prepped them more in the fall, cut everything out and had it ready to go for them, it would be less cumbersome, which is what I'm going to do this fall with any crafts that they need to do for their school. From there, I breezed through days. We would do, I started doing 5 days at a time with them, and we went from day 30 or 40 to 170 in just 2 months, because we were doing 5 days at a time. I wouldn't do it every single day, just whenever they would ask for it, and I would reward Gabe more so because I was focused on him. Gabe would get to watch a show afterwards to limit, we limit screen time, so that would be his reward for doing school. And he started requesting it because he knew after doing school he would get screen time. So that is a review of Easy Peasy. At the end of it, we finished it today. Well, we have like 2 more days, but like half a day, just a couple more videos to go through with him. And I tested him looking at an alphabet sheet of which letters he knows. And he was able to tell me every single letter except Q, W, Y, and Z. So those were a few that I just will have to touch up with him as we go into this fall. And I am already working on him. I got 100 easy lessons to do with your child to teach him to read. That's not the title. I botched the title. I'll link it below. But that just is, I've tried it a couple different times with him, and he hates it sitting there. It's like torture for me to teach him, because he's wiggling, trying to tell me a story, and then if he sees a letter, he's like, T is for tiger, instead of like doing the actual lesson. And it's very much, looking at that book, it's very like a lot of words that he doesn't know, more for the teacher to do. Got the book that I was talking about, Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. So let me just show you. It has a lot of like informational stuff for you as a teacher in the first little bit, first 30 pages, but then it starts with lesson 1, and I think this page just seems to overwhelm him. He will be mainly looking at, he or she, your child, will be mainly looking at letters with the dot and the line on here. And you're reading and saying the red stuff out loud, and the black stuff is informational stuff for you. But it just is overwhelming to the child as they look at it, at least my child. So I got to lesson 7, and again, it was just torture sitting here trying to go through task 1 through 8 with him. And I was going mad. So I found another book that is the same concept. It's just more child friendly, in my opinion. I just started it. We're on 6%, but I got it on my tablet thinking he enjoyed the videos more, so maybe he would enjoy an e-book instead of a physical book. So as a reward for doing this, I have been giving him, for every minute he spends, I give him 3 minutes of tablet time. So in the beginning of this, it says to do like 1 to 2 pages a day with your child, depending on your child. And I find that doing one of these pages takes me about 2 minutes with him if he will focus. And when I reward him with tablet time, I make sure he's focused to earn the time. If he's not just lollygagging and I have the timer going. Just a second. So this is what it looks like, and it gets progressively harder and teaches more words, and you're teaching them the sound and the reading. And I like that it's a blank page that they can just focus on what they have, and it has small information stuff for them there. This book is called, This book is called The Reading Lessons, Teach Your Child to Read in 20 Easy Lessons. But they say that the 20 lessons should be done over 2 to 3 days each lesson. So it ends up being like, 5 days. It ends up being like 100 lessons in that book, or 100 days, which is almost a full school year if you do the 170. So that will be about 100 days. And the thing that I found additionally to all of this stuff that I am starting to implement into the school is that on YouTube they have a lot of read aloud books. With quarantine and everything shut down still, well, everything being the library, and you having to request a book for pickup where you can't just go in and pick them, that's delayed things a lot of getting a lot of kids books in. So what I have found is YouTube has a lot of read aloud books that you might be looking for. So I started looking up those, and sometimes I've let the video play, so the audio is playing and whoever's reading the story is reading aloud. And then other times I will mute it and I will sit there and read it as they turn the pages to them. So then it's more of like reading a book instead of, someone else, them watching a video kind of thing. So that is what I have to say about Easy Peasy. I am pleased with the results, knowing that he still can't sing the ABC song, but knowing that he knows all the letters except for those four, I'm pretty happy with the results of that. So I do recommend it. It's a good curriculum. I recommend if you're going to do it, make sure you set time aside for it and prep your crafts beforehand so you have all the stuff ready to go, and then you won't be like cutting things out for them to like glue together while they're sitting there asking you to do something. That is a little frustrating for me to deal with. So yeah, I hope you like this review. Please like or comment below. Let me know if you've done Easy Peasy and what you thought about it. Follow me on Instagram for more, Mommy of Dragons with 2 underscores between the words, linked below again. And check out my website at charette.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. No, you have some more lines on that one.